Early this morning, as missiles streaked across the skies of Iran, the world wasn't just witnessing an airstrike. It was a sharp warning, a geopolitical chess move unveiled, where power is not only shown through firepower, but asserted through the right to define the rules of the game. They weren't attacked because of uranium, not because of nuclear bombs. They were attacked because they chose a side, the side of the displaced, the side of children growing up under bombs. Iran said no to the US, to Israel, to an imposed world order. And in an age of media warfare, a single no can be more dangerous than a nuclear arsenal. This is not just a war of bombs and missiles. The US has opened another front, the front of information. They control the news flow, shape global opinion, and turn the victim into the suspect. At the same time, they launched sophisticated diversion tactics, deceiving radar and scattering Iran's air defenses. And all of it was part of a pre-designed plan, executed with precision and choreography straight out of a spy movie. A fleet of B-2 Spirit bombers left their base, carrying warheads toward Guam. The world held its breath. Military analysts from Washington to Tokyo believed the Pacific was on the brink of eruption. CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera all reported on a new strategic corridor between the US and its allies. But then, no missiles fell on Guam, because the real battlefield was hidden deep beneath the soil of Iran. 125 fighter jets, including F-22s, F-35s, and the next-generation stealth bomber B-21 Raider, took off simultaneously without a single warning. They covertly entered Iranian airspace, disabling radar systems with advanced electronic warfare technology. And then, the strikes came, precise like a surgeon's blade. Fordo, the uranium enrichment center buried deep within a mountain, once thought untouchable. Natanz, the symbol of Iran's civilian nuclear program. Isfahan, the hub of nuclear research and technology. It wasn't just a strike, it was a declaration. Nowhere is safe, not even underground. The US deployed the GBU-57, a weapon nicknamed the Bunker Buster, a nearly 14-ton bomb capable of piercing more than 60 meters of concrete and rock before detonation. From offshore, Ohio-class submarines launched a barrage of Tomahawk cruise missiles. These low-flying missiles slipped past radar systems and struck simultaneously from multiple directions. A coordinated strike from the skies, beneath the earth, and deep within the ocean. No one saw it coming. No defense system was fast enough to respond. Despite the strikes, Iran announced no major damage. The uranium had been evacuated beforehand. Satellite images also showed no destruction on the scale seen in Libya or Iraq. Independent intelligence later confirmed no significant damage to the core of the nuclear program. So what did the US really destroy? A stockpile of uranium? Or the right to stand for justice? Weapons of mass destruction? Or the voice that dares to challenge the old world order? When Iran began talks with the EU, the bombs fell. While Iran was still seated at the negotiating table in Vienna, Israel launched missiles at civilian infrastructure in Iran and Syria, and the West? They kept repeating the same hollow line: Iran must return to the negotiating table. But does anyone mention that Iran never left? That it was never the one to fire first? In the United States, the political fallout is becoming clear. In major cities, protests erupt with chants like, "Stop the war machine," "Trump is a war criminal," "Hands off Iran." Many members of Congress from both parties publicly criticized the administration for overstepping authority, ignoring the Constitution, and dragging America into an unnecessary war. Talk of impeachment has begun to surface on national television. While the world's eyes are fixed on Iran, Gaza is dying by the hour. On May 26th, a US-backed humanitarian aid program called the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation turned into a deadly trap. At the food distribution point, rice, flour, the bombs fell. More than 400 civilians were killed, including dozens of children. Thousands more were injured. The weapons used, machine guns, artillery shells, and drone-guided bombs. They were killed while waiting in line for food. Just innocent people. They call it Hunger Games, Gaza Edition. But this is no game. It's a deadly gamble for those who have nothing left to lose. Since the conflict began, the US government has spent over $22 billion on Israel, all under the label of defensive aid. Not a single dollar went to civilians. Not a single dollar for peace. That money turned into artillery shells exploding in schools, bombs leveling hospitals, and nameless, ageless deaths buried hastily beneath the rubble. From the Vatican to Beijing, from Moscow to Brussels, the condemnations came, but no action followed. No aid was cut. No sanctions imposed. No effort to stop the war. Silence, in this moment, is no longer neutral. It is a silent nod to atrocity. On one side is truth, on the other, fear. On one side are the voices of those brave enough to stand for what's right. On the other, power, armed with the language of democracy. The world doesn't need more missiles. It needs the courage to speak the truth. This is not a war on terror. This is modern colonialism, dressed in democracy and funded by taxpayers. And those who resist, they are not the threat. They are the final alarm bell.